Welcome back to Let's Play Sekiro. We are in the Hidden Forest. So I talked a little bit about it last episode. There is a mention of Tozen's Trail in English. It is not there in Japanese. So I would not really consider it part of the lore. Tozen, though, is in reference to a Buddhist monk. His teachings came over to Japan. I believe through one of his followers' names is Dogen. And it was his teachings that helped with the founding of a lot of Japanese schools of Buddhism. I've actually started to read a lot of scholarly articles I can find online from Japanese libraries and museums. So I'll try to link relevant ones in the thread. It should be mentioned when I talk about this that... Oh yeah, those right there I just wanted to show. Those are the butterflies of the hidden mist, of the hidden forest. But when I talk about a lot of these things, again, I'm using Western terminology. I was just reading an article which kind of helps sums it up. I'll put the name up on screen. Ideology, Academic Inventions, and Mystical Anthropology. Responding to Fitzgerald's Errors and Misguided Polemics. By Shimada Kitsumi, the original Japanese reviewer, translated by Ian Reeder, who is a Lancaster professor and who I believe is a professor of religious studies at Lancaster. It talks about how Western categories of religion and secular life don't really fit with historical Japan before the Meiji Restoration. That's pretty accurate. Again, life here to them wasn't really separate from religion. That's how a lot of places were, honestly, in history. We're also going to be talking to this monk here. Here is again a large Buddha statue. Now, I'm going to be trying to do my best here. I hope I'm at least slightly close. I looped this footage around to do it twice. This, I think, might be a statue of either Nico or Gakko. I'm not sure how to pronounce the names. It resembles statues I've seen of them. Usually they're in a pair and are related to hiding a hidden Buddha. I don't know too much about them. I'll have to do more research. But that was a Buddhist there who wants us to defeat the person creating the hidden mist. This is a headless. There's one here. Headless are related to warriors or people that were mistreated, that were wrongly killed. They're vengeful ghosts, basically. The hidden forest has a lot of people who have died here. Now, it has some relation to Owl and Lady Butterfly. Possibly Sekiro / Wolf himself. The butterflies, of course, are related to Lady Butterfly, who is mentioned in the Phantom Kunai. This area has a lot of enemies. I think they respawn, actually. These guys that appear out of the mist. They may not respawn. I guess I haven't stuck around enough to check. There's tons of graves here. Lots of Buddhist statues, too. It's a sort of blasphemous area. Also showing a lot of hatred for Buddhism in this area. I don't know why there are roosters here. That one I don't get. It might just be some deep reference I don't know. The spirit people here are the bandits from Hirata. It's their models. But I'm not entirely sure if it's actually supposed to be them or is just a reused asset. When it comes to illusions and the like, it's hard to tell in Sekiro what's intentional or not. Some seem totally unrelated. So in the description, this is called Usui's Forest. I think that's how it's pronounced. I was curious if it was a translation thing again, but no, it is called Usui's Forest. It's not like Usui Forest. It specifically mentions it is someone's forest. I've often heard people say that Owl is called by that name in some versions, but I haven't seen any actual evidence for it, so I don't know. Again, I'll be trying to find out and check. There is an Usui Path, but it's in Nagano, which is very different from where Sekiro seems to take place. And if you ever look up photos, it looks nothing like the Hidden Forest. It's actually super beautiful and open, and is a common route for trains. I hope I'm not either boring people or getting things wrong with all of this extra information. There's just often a lot to cover. It may sound bizarre, but I'm going through academic and scholarly articles from universities and libraries. Let's listen in for a second. So that flute playing is very important, not just here in general in Sekiro. We'll be seeing more of it later. I'm not sure what the tune is, or even if it's a song. That could have some significance, I just don't know yet. It definitely sounds haunting. It's actually a part of what's causing all of this. So right here is a weird rock. It looks like there should be a path there, but there's just a wall. See? I've seen those sorts of lanterns and statues like that in many temples in Japan. I'll have to look up at some point what they exactly mean, or if they're just kind of a standard sort of landmark, or part of architecture and design in Japan. There's a lot that Sekiro is based upon. You can actually look up a lot of tourist guides and destinations in Japan, and you can look at all the photos people have taken and posted. You'll recognize a lot of statues and things like bells and layouts in some of the architecture. I imagine FromSoft has either just looked up a lot of photos of these areas, or went on location themselves to inspect them closer, get more detailed photos and examinations. A lot of these sorts of historical snafus with Sekiro are pretty localization related. And I don't normally complain about localizations. Usually they're decent. This one seems especially bad. I can understand some parts of it to a degree, though. There'll be really obscure references. There is one later on to a story relating to eating mermaids that is just not in the English version and is really important to who a character may be. Also, just showing more of the Buddha statues. They appear to be of Jizo, at least some of them are. Dogs here are annoying. Time to grapple up and fight a mini-boss. No, this is actually not the person behind all of this. This is someone who is like enraptured within the mist and is talking to monkeys. This is the glutton. Of course, and this monkey here is wearing a kabuto and has a sword. And they have guns, of course. Like that image I posted in Thread of the Hellboy comic reference. I don't think I've actually fought the other, like, sumo type enemy yet. There are, let me see, there should be 3 in game. This is one of them. And there we go, my puppet hit me. Thanks, puppet. Puppets are great for distractions. They allow you to get behind bosses and hit from behind while they're attacking and tanking. Some are better than others. If you have an enemy with a shield, they're great to puppet, because the boss will just keep hitting them and do nothing. Again, I do have Demon Bell on, so I'll be taking more damage from bosses, and they'll be just in general harder. I'll take it off at points. I just wanted to show its effects. I might at one point just show having it active and getting hit and dealing damage to an enemy, and then turning it off and showing that again. There is an NPC actually that has unique dialogue when you use the Demon Bell. It is the Rice Lady, and she will give you items if you use it near her. These guys are very ugly. There is another glutton in Harada Estate, Juzo. We've actually had him get mentioned by some of the bandits there. This isn't him, but weirdly they have the same scars. They look almost identical. Sekiro likes to reuse a lot of mini-bosses. There's even bosses that are reused. Like, let's see. I can think of at least 3 bosses that are reused off the top of my head. And mini-bosses, it's way higher number than that. Remember that guy in the well, the Lone Shadow Longswordsman? There's like 8 bosses like that. And then, technically 4 drunkard fights, or sumo guy fights. One of them is a refight though. And there we go, the Ashina Cross doing its job. He dropped an unrefined sake. I have recorded all of the sake dialogue for the game. So I will be showing that off. Once we get the final sake, I'll put that in the video. There's 3 people you can give sake to. Ishin, Emma, and the sculptor. It gives a lot of look into the backstory of these characters and who they are, how they know each other. I'll talk about it when we get to it, but it even has a lot of information. Well, I guess not a lot, but a good deal compared to everything else we learn about characters like Dogun and about Gyobu even, and Owl, as well as Lady Butterfly. You'll also learn about a character named Kingfisher, who she is, and for some reason she's not really talked about much, even though she probably should. So once you get past the glutton, this is the way up to the top of the little temple. And this is where you'll find the hardest boss FromSoft has ever made. No one can defeat this boss without cheesing them. You see, it looks so simple and easy. Just look at him. He can barely move. He's the Mist Noble. Now, obviously, I'm putting on buffs, so I can deal enough damage to this boss. He's quite tanky if you don't buff. Right now, I'm actually glitching him so that I can do infinite damage, and even then, it's barely damaging him. So, after the first death blow, you've kind of seemingly got him. It's very slow moving. He doesn't attack much. You can kind of just wail on him. The problem is, once you death blow him, if you press the button, you instantly die. And it says revive, but you're actually not allowed to. Yeah, he's tough. So if it wasn't apparent that was a joke, that's just the meme, is he's the toughest boss in the game. Because he's not even really a fight. You walk up to him, backstab him, and then press R1 a bunch, and he dies. He's more of just the environmental puzzle and like a story thing. Also lots of statues here. That may be Jizo. That might be the red bib related with him. Usually the bib is on the baby statues, but I think it can be on Jizo as well. These are all monks who died meditating. Again, I can't read all of this, so I just zoom in on it in case someone can. They're not quite like the mummified monks of Senpo. I'm not sure what these talismans mean. The fire, and then the flute of Mist Noble. I'm gonna get a look at his face. Warning, he's fucked up looking. Welcome to Bloodborne. I use that to look away so that I can see it without the death blow. Yeah, this is a thing. We're gonna see things like him later. They're really fucking weird. If you just put them on like a normal human's model, or made it more like bigger, it would just be a Bloodborne boss. So he barely can attack. Again, just more of a puzzle than a boss. Getting through the area is how you beat him. Once you get to him. So you can use Firecracker on him for some reason if you want to. He is a complete joke. Can't defend himself. See, I wasn't even sure if it would do damage, so I wanted to test. On Demon Bell, he actually does decent. But yeah, you are not going to die to this boss. Apparently a dog was attacking outside. I didn't even notice. Also, there's a deflect on him. And the Sheena Cross takes off half his health. I guess not technically half. It's like 49% of his health. There you go. Once he's dead, all of the mist goes away, as does the massive illusion. That was also why I was zooming in on everything, was so you could see everything is different. All of those people who died meditating were actually bound up and burned. All of the Buddhist statues in the area are actually headless and defaced. Just examining his fucked up weird body. A part of that is that all of Sekiro is about seeking immortality and the corruption that comes with it, and breaking the cycle of birth and life. There's a lot of this concept in Shinto, and it's also found in Buddhism. You'll find it in Hinduism. It's in a lot of religions, frankly. There's like a little mass grave there. The statues are all screwed up, you can see. They're all have their heads broken off. I don't know how the Mist Noble did that. I don't exactly know how that happened, or if it was just like that before he got here. He's seemingly gotten everyone here killed and has been hiding what is past the Hidden Forest. As you can see, that giant rock there was completely an illusion. We can now go through. I can't read what any of these like posts say. If I had to hazard a guess, they're probably saying either Mibu Village ahead or this place is fucked up, turn back, there's ghosts, it's hell, this is Zombie Town, welcome to Resident Evil 4. Hey, that Jesus statue looks okay. But yeah, we are entering the final area of Ashina Devs. This is going to be Mibu Village at the bottom of these trees. Mibu Village is quite unpleasant, but also easy, I would say. The area's easy. The bosses are kind of hard. But yeah, welcome to Mibu Village. We'll be dealing with it next time. See ya.